Welcome to Lakeland, Florida. We're here for the Sun and Fun Show. One of the more anticipated press conferences at this show was Liberty Aerospace. And the reason for it is that the company has had some questions, some challenges in the past to deal with. Keith Markley was here to explain how the company's doing on all those fronts. Keith, thanks for joining us here on Aero-TV. Tell us, in a nutshell, the history of the plane and where you fit on the timeline personally.
Well, Paul, you know, the history of Liberty Aerospace sort of dates back to an earlier time in Europe and the UK with an aircraft called the Europa. And sometimes there will be people that will refer to the Liberty as being an extension of that kit, but really what it is it's an aircraft that was designed using a lot of the same background people and the aerodynamics of the efficiencies of the Europa to bring it to the Liberty. Liberty Aerospace is a company that's about 5 years old, but really has been in the business of delivering airplanes for just the last 2 years. And the real goal was really to build an aircraft that uses the best aero efficiency that it could and was designed to be maintained. Therefore, what we have is an aircraft right now that we think is operationally probably the most efficient light aircraft in the world today.
Now, if you had to isolate the biggest stumbling block that this company has overcome, it has to probably be the fuselage life limit. If you're talking about the economics of a training environment, that had to be overcome, and you guys have done an admirable job so far of getting past that. Tell us where you are in that process now.
Well, you know, when you talk about the largest stumbling block, I have a feeling that a lot of the engineers here would debate that issue, but you know, the reality is that life limit on carbon fiber is something that we've been a leader on. I think you probably are aware we use the Toray carbon fiber, which is the same carbon fiber that Boeing uses, and we are one of 2 certified manufacturers of certified aircraft parts using that material. Right now we're at the 5,000 hour range on the fuselage, which we believe will soon be increasing to 15,000 hours, and we hope to take it to unlimited life. And so it's proving to be a material that's incredibly resilient, strong, and just will end up with a better life cycle than aluminum will.
Tell us a little bit of the other bullet points on the economics of this in the training environment. Why would a flight school buy an XL2?
Well, there's really a couple. First of all, the aircraft has been designed with a modular concept, where almost all other airplanes were originally designed to just be built and flown. This airplane is designed around access maintenance panels. So there's really one major access panel in the belly and one up, you know, on the top of the cow that allows you to do 100-hour inspections and routine inspections much quicker than a traditional plane, about 10 hours. The other thing is with the operation of the very, very efficient IOF, being the FADEC version engine from TCM, there's a much lower fuel burn than the traditional engine. So it's lower fuel burn, lower maintenance, and easier to replace parts. So we estimate that in the training environment that the XL2 runs about 40% more efficient than other training aircraft that are in the fleets today.
Keith Markley is the president and CEO of Liberty Aerospace, and we'll be back with more from their display at Lakeland in a moment.
Cirrus aircraft have always been easy to fly. Now they're easier than ever to buy. A complete line of ownership programs gives you everything you need to purchase, trade, finance, lease, insure, and warranty your Cirrus. There's even an ownership program for non-pilots. The Cirrus Access Pilot can teach you how to fly, or fly the plane for you. Find out more at www.cirrusdesign.com. Cirrus, for the love of flying.
Welcome back. We're in Lakeland, Florida, talking with Liberty Aerospace and some of the executives of the company. Paul, thanks for joining us, and tell us what's it like to fly the XL2.
My pleasure, Paul. You know, the XL2 is quite different to a lot of other light aircraft in that, first of all, we use push rod controls throughout. So even to the rudder, we have no cables at all. So if you're used to flying 150s or 172s or other aircraft that just have cables in them, you'll find that there's a tremendous amount of slack in the control. And with the XL2 and other push rod control airplanes, there is no lack of response. So as soon as you move that stick, it's instantaneous.
What kind of customer base is attracted to the XL2 in your experience so far? Is it mainly flight schools or is it individuals?
Right now it's been about 50-50. We see the market growing more into flight schools in terms of volume, but you know, there's a large number of individuals who are looking for a 2-place airplane. They simply don't need a 4- or 6-seater. So you end up with an airplane that has a lot of safety features built in, super comfortable to fly, and very economical and fun.
Give us your 30-second sales pitch for FADEC, because I know that's a big part of the experience of flying this aircraft.
It's almost like cheating, because the FADEC system takes away all engine management out of the pilot's concern. And the beauty of that is that you get to concentrate on other things about flying which are perhaps more fun. No matter what altitude you're at, no matter what temperature you're operating in, FADEC is monitoring each cylinder 20 times a second, and it's treating each cylinder like its own engine, and it's checking pressure and temperature, and it's providing exactly the right amount of spark at the right time and the right amount of fuel at the right time. So you end up with engine efficiency that is just absolutely unmatched in a manually controlled airplane. And the more I fly the airplane, I've got just over 640 hours now in the XL2, the more I fly it, the more I love it. As far as I'm concerned, airplanes are for two things. They're for having fun and from going places from A to B. And the FADEC system, and couple it with the Garmin GPS nav systems that we have, it makes it a no-brainer.
Well, Paul, you speak very enthusiastically about the product, and I guess that's an important asset in your job. We appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. My pleasure. Enjoyed it.
We're here with Liberty Aerospace at Lakeland. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Today, there is an affordable, high-performance, easy-to-own and easy-to-operate very light jet designed with you in mind. Far less expensive than any other twin-engine jet to buy, it is also the least expensive to own and operate. It is the Eclipse 500, the jet that's easy to buy, easy to fly, and fun to own. The jet for you.
We're here with Randy Burnley, who is the Senior VP for Sales and Marketing for Liberty. And Randy, the one thing we haven't talked about with any of your colleagues is the relationship now between Liberty Aerospace and the People's Republic of China.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that deal and maybe bust a couple of misconceptions people have about outsourcing in this case.
Yes. This particular arrangement is a license to manufacture that we have been negotiating for the better part of a year, actually. It was consummated just before the end of this past year, and the end of 2007. It entails the manufacture, the creation of a plant to manufacture from beginning to end the Liberty XL2, and a plant located in Anyang, A-N-Y-A-N-G, Anyang, China. We will ship the first 25 from here in order to feed the flight school, which is part of a university that's located on the airport there in Anyang. After that, in late '09, their plant shall be in 100% production, and they will then supply the balance of the aircraft, which will be about another 575. All of which, Paul, are to stay in China. This is not a build and export arrangement.
That's the most interesting thing that didn't occur to me or dawn on me when I first read the press releases on this deal, is that this really kind of pulls into focus the incredible pool of demand that is over there. Yes. For all 600 aircraft to be staying in the country.
Well, our aircraft functions best as a primary trainer, and because of the fuel efficiency of the aircraft, it works for a beautiful time builder. Yes, it's nice to have the instructor there for the primary portion, but after the student solos and then he goes in and out as far as the instructor is concerned, there's no need for an aircraft to have 4 seats in it, because you're only going to have one pilot in it building time. So this is where our aircraft shines best, and it's in the flight training environment.
Have you personally flown the aircraft, and what do you think of it?
Yes. My experience with this airplane is now about 100 hours. I love the feel of the aircraft. My wife and I fly together in it a lot. It is a very roomy, a very comfortable aircraft. She particularly likes the fact that she can lean forward and see straight down, even though it's a low-wing aircraft. It is an extremely responsive airplane for the beginning student, a person who has no previous flight experience. It will give them a good introduction to aviation, a very good introduction.
Well, it looks like after some challenges, good things are happening at Liberty Aerospace. And Randy, we thank you very much for joining us and filling us in on the details.
Thank you, Paul.